Aquarius, my astrological constellation, my birth sign, all of which means jack crap. Alright, it doesn't matter, and that's disappointing, that's not going well. Uh, anyways, so Aquarius is one of the 12 zodiac constellations located on the ecliptic. The best viewing times for Aquarius in the Abilene area is from early October around 10 p.m. or early November around 8 p.m. Because, daylight savings and all that. That's always fun. Some of the history and mythology behind Aquarius is... Find my words here. The Greek mythology associates Aquarius with the Great Flood that wiped out humanity. This is the same Great Flood that's, of course, in the Bible. Egyptian mythology, however, associates it with the Nile River, so instead it's a life giver instead of a life taker, because, two opposing cultures. Yada, yada, yada. There are 3 planets that are visible in Aquarius at certain times. Mars and Venus is visible during January, while Neptune is visible through February and May. Now, some of the stars in Aquarius include Albali, Eta Aquarii, Lambda Aquarii, Sadakbia, Sadal Malik, Sadal Sud, Scott, Tau Aquarii, 88 Aquarii, and 98 Aquarii. Now, the apparent Now, I will discuss the data on all those stars in the next video. Here's the HR diagram showing these stars. As you can see, there is a definite difference between sizes and colors. If I remember correctly, I do believe that the biggest star on there itself is it appears to be 142, so that would be Tau Aquarii. So that big dark red one would be Tau Aquarii, if I'm correct. Now, we go on to the NGCI and NGCIC database. What is it with astronomy and letters and things, There are 5 that I found. NGC 7923, otherwise known as the Helix Nebula, NGC 7009, Saturn Nebula, NGC 6994, NGC 6981, and NGC 7089. The last 3 are Messier objects, M73, M72, and M2 respectively. This is the Helix Nebula. This nebula was discovered by Carl Ludwig Harding around 1824, and it is one of the closest, brightest planetary nebulae. Now, a planetary nebulae is the remnant of gas left over from a lower mass star's death. The star runs out of hydrogen, and thus fusion stops, and the outer layers is shed off, leaving the core, which is now turned into what we call a white dwarf. Always about dwarfs. That is the Saturn Nebula. It was first discovered by William Herschel on September 7th, 1782, as one of his earliest discoveries. The nebula was originally a low-mass star. It is now a white dwarf surrounded by a yellow-green nebula. The name comes from the superficial resemblance to Saturn when you zoom in on it. Once again, this is a planetary nebula, the remnants of a low-mass star's death, with a white dwarf at the center. So yes, or death. This is M73. It is an open cluster of 4 stars discovered by Charles Messier on October 4th, 1780, and was also observed by John Herschel. Now, open clusters are a group of up to 1,000 stars that form from the same cloud, and they typically are around the same age. So, they're bunk buddies, I guess you could say. Nothing like bunk buddies. Wait for this to change over. Hurry up. There we go. M72 is a globular cluster discovered by French astronomer Pierre Méchain and catalogued on October 4th, 1780 by Charles Messier. Herschel and Harlow Shapley also made subsequent observations. Now, globular clusters are spherical groups of stars that orbit a galactic core as a satellite. Interesting. Now, they're bound tightly together by gravity, so I guess the galactic core has something to do with that. M2, one of his first Messier objects. It was first discovered by Jean-Dominique Maraldi in 1746 and rediscovered by Messier in 1760. Herschel Herschel observed it to be a cluster and not a nebula like Messier believed. It is one of the largest globular clusters that we have found to date. Now for the in-depth look after this switch is over. The in-depth look into the Helix Nebula. Here it is. This is the infrared photograph of the Helix Nebula. As you can see, it's cool gas in that little cooler red white dwarf right there in the little center. Now, it has been compared to the Cat's Eye Nebula and the Ring Nebula in appearance, and has also been referred to as the Eye of God or Eye of Sauron. So you can see why the people call it this. It looks like a giant little, looks like a Terminator eye. Maybe they should call it the Arnold eye in space. Arnold's always watching. This is the Cat's Eye Nebula. You can see us. I don't know if I see a resemblance to it, but it's there. People say it resembles. They call it the Cat's Eye Nebula. I don't know if you can see a cat's eye in there, but when you zoom out and you view the entire like gas surrounding it, not just that, it does look like a cat's eye. But when zoomed in, I don't know, it doesn't look like a cat's eye. It looks like a hourglass gone all funky. Hourglass on acid. That's what it is. So that's what. This is the Ring Nebula. Now again, I guess I can see more of a more similar resemblance to the Helix Nebula. Of course, this looks like a giant ring. To me, it looks like one of the atolls in the Pacific. So, for example, Bikini Atoll. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful to look at. I like the orange and the blue and the green. It's all mixed together very, very nicely. It's very beautiful. It's very lovely. So in the next video, I will go over the details around the 10 stars in Aquarius that are most significant. You know, the apparent magnitude, absolute magnitude, right ascension, declination, spectral class, yada yada, all that good stuff. So check that out.